Stop and take in what you're witnessing right now. Because what's happening in Iran at this moment may be the most lopsided military campaign in modern history. Their Air Force destroyed. Their Navy at the bottom of the sea. Their missile launches collapsed by 90%. Their Supreme Leader dead. Their Revolutionary Guards deserting. Members of their military are recording themselves walking off their posts. They're literally looking into the camera and saying, the regime is done. We're out of here. Even the Washington Post is admitting that Trump is on the verge of achieving something no American president has ever accomplished. Stick with me to the very end of this video because I'm going to show you the 3 levels of victory now within Trump's grasp, why the IRGC is collapsing from the inside out, and what the end game of this war actually looks like. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, here to help you make sense of day 11 of Operation Epic Fury with breaking news and analysis you're not going to get anywhere else, so make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, everything I'm about to cover will directly shape your children's future, in particular if we don't stay ahead of it. My free Patriot Alerts are how you do precisely that. Sign up today, the link is below, and let's make sure we see what's coming before it reaches your front door. I think Jesse Waters put it perfectly last night. If you want to understand the magnitude of the operation that's unfolding over these past 11 days, you have to realize that it took us 10 years to get bin Laden, 6 years to get Hitler, 2 years to get Milosevic, 9 months for Saddam. We blew the Ayatollah away in 50 seconds and basically took out the entire Iranian military in less than a week. And he's not exaggerating. Over 5,000 targets struck by U.S. forces alone, 10,000 when combined with IDF forces. Full air supremacy over Iranian airspace. Their Air Force gone. Their Navy at the bottom of the sea. Their missile launches collapsed from a high of 350 a day last week to an average of barely 20. Every branch of the Iranian military has been dislocated and decimated. We are now officially in phase 2 of Operation Epic Fury. The initial phase, which involves suppressing air defenses, decapitating command and control, and destroying missile launchers, is now considered complete. Phase 2 shifts to dismantling Iran's defense industrial base, so missile production facilities, weapons factories, and underground ballistic missile silos. And at the heart of Phase 2 are the B-2 stealth bombers flying 37-hour round-trip missions, taking off from Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri, refueling multiple times in midair, crossing the Atlantic, penetrating Iranian airspace completely undetected, and dropping dozens of 2,000-pound GBU-31 penetrator bombs directly onto Iran's hardened underground missile complexes. And then they land at Dyess Air Force Base in Texas, they reload, and they do it again. And here's what's so devastating about this. Iran spent decades building these underground missile cities, right? These massive tunnel networks designed by North Korean engineers buried deep under mountains, built specifically to survive an American air campaign. That was supposed to be their ace in the hole. And the B-2s are turning those bunkers into tombs, literally. They're collapsing the tunnel entrances, destroying the ventilation shafts, sealing the access roads. The missiles are still down there, but they can't get out. And the moment a launcher does emerge, there's an MQ-9 Reaper drone or an F-35 circling overhead waiting to destroy it. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper confirmed that Iranian missile launches are down 90% since day one. And Secretary Pete Hegseth just announced that the bomber pulses are, as of today, even going to intensify. More missions, more frequently. Iran built its entire deterrent strategy around those underground complexes, and right now, that strategy is literally buried alive. As one commentator put it, the Iran war must be one of the most one-sided conflicts in history. The damage suffered by Iran is 100 times greater than anything it was able to inflict. Much of Tehran's military power has been demolished in less than 2 weeks. Thousands of major Iranian regime assets were destroyed, and dozens of top Iranian leaders and commanders are dead. That there's even a debate on who's winning the war tells you more about the current state of the world than actual reality. In reality, Iran is being pounded by two military powers unable to stop any of it. Iran, as we speak, has no navy, no air force. Their missiles are depleting or permanently buried. They're experiencing a massive water shortage, no agricultural resources, no banking alliances, no cash flow, no friends, no strategic alliances, and importantly, no functioning central government and a rotten revolutionary ideology. And Iranian soldiers themselves are beginning to openly admit it. They're admitting that this is completely a lost cause. Take a look. This is a member of the paramilitary volunteer militia known as the Bazish. They're under the command of the IRGC, and he's recording himself abandoning his post, saying the Islamic Republic is finished. Quote, "This is the Bazish barracks, which until recently was a school. Everyone is left and is leaving. I'm going home too. It seems to me that the regime's work is finished and we should surrender. I just hope that the people don't take revenge on us." And Israeli television is reporting that there are growing reports of mass desertions within Iran's Revolutionary Guards. According to a source close to the organization, those with financial means are reportedly fleeing the country. And that brings us to the real question. If the IRGC is crumbling, if the regime is fracturing, if even the Revolutionary Guards are heading for the exits, what then does victory actually look like? What's the real endgame here? And that is exactly what we're about to find out. While Trump unleashes a political reckoning, there is another crisis poisoning every American in some way, shape, or form, even in the comfort of our own homes. I'm talking about the microplastic epidemic. Now, you may have heard about this, but this is pretty shocking stuff. Check this out.
White ones, we've got clear ones.
Tons of microplastics wash ashore all over the world every day. And now for the first time, scientists in the Netherlands have detected microplastic pollution in human blood.
All the microplastics and nanoplastics we are exposed to, we inhale and we ingest, that actually, there's so much plastic that it can even enter our bloodstream.
The Dutch study on blood samples from healthy adults detected tiny plastic particles in 80% of people.
That's right. There's a microplastic crisis poisoning every American in some way, shape, or form. They're in our food, our water, our meats, our proteins. In fact, according to a recent study, we now ingest 6 times more microplastics than in 1990. It's wreaking havoc on our health and on our organ functions. And unfortunately, no one is immune from this. But there is an amazing solution. There's a unique bacterial strain found only in kimchi that's been found to effectively degrade microplastics. In fact, traditional kimchi is one of the world's most powerful superfoods. But let's be honest, it's messy, it's strong smelling, and not exactly easy to eat every single day. So that's why our good friends over at Brightcore created Kimchi One. Now you can get all the benefits of premium fermented kimchi in convenient capsule form. No mess, no taste, no hassle. I've been taking Kimchi One every single day for months now, and gang, I love it. Each capsule delivers over 900 probiotic strains, live enzymes, and antioxidants that help restore balance in your gut. People are seeing improvements in digestion, bloating, regularity, energy, metabolism. Studies show that kimchi even reduces the risk of obesity. Kimchi One is all natural, non-GMO, and 100% made right here in the USA. It's completely dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, so just anyone could take it. I personally love it, and I love knowing that I'm supporting my gut and overall health in one simple step. So if you've been looking for a way to boost your immune system and remove microplastic toxins from your body, this is it. You can get 25% off your order by going to the link below, or for an even better deal, give them a call. My friends at Brightcore would love to chat with you, and they're going to give you 50% off plus free shipping. Call them at 888-597-0233. The first 100 callers to order are going to get a free bottle of vitamin D3. Again, you only get that 50% off and free shipping when you give them a call. So once again, that number is 888-597-0233. Mark Thiessen of the Washington Post has a great piece out today entitled The Three Kinds of Victory in Iran. And he begins by noting that it is absolutely clear for anyone with eyes to see that Operation Epic Fury is on its way to a massive success. U.S. and Israeli capabilities are increasing, while Iran's capabilities are clearly and demonstrably decreasing. That's the key to understand the calculus here. U.S. and Israeli capabilities are increasing, while Iran's capabilities are clearly demonstrably decreasing. There's simply no way around that. A patient Trump can achieve what no modern president before him came anywhere close to: the irreversible elimination of the Iranian threat and a major, if not the major, Chinese proxy in the region. By contrast, if victory is not decisive, that could actually end up emboldening Iran. Iran's surviving leaders could conclude that America has lost its nerve and was too weak to defeat them. So what then is the definition of victory here? And this is where Thiessen's article shines, I think, because he actually argues there are three levels of success in Iran, and they're all within Trump's grasp. So we're looking here for a multi-level victory. Level one involves disarming the regime, stripping Iran of its ability to project force beyond its own borders. And according to the article, and of course CENTCOM reports, Trump is already well on his way to achieving this. Over 5,000 targets struck, Admiral Cooper confirming a 90% drop in ballistic missile launches, 83% drop in drone attacks. The Navy's destroyed, their Air Force is gone. And here's the key quote from Admiral Cooper: "We're not just targeting their assets, we're obliterating their capacity to rebuild." That's level one, and it's nearly complete. So you could put a victory check, as it were, next to that. Level two victory involves toppling the regime, not through a ground invasion, okay? We've talked about that. That's numerically impossible. Don't listen to the doomers online. It is numerically impossible. It would require at least 600,000 to 700,000 ground troops, given Iran's 90 million population. So that's not in the cards. We topple the regime not by ground troops, but through sustained pressure. With the supreme leader dead, the IRGC command structure shattered, the Basij internal security apparatus in ruins, as we saw in that video, and the economy in a free fall, by the way. It's over $1 million rial to the dollar as we speak. The regime is more vulnerable to internal collapse than at any point since 1979. Again, especially given the fact that they're running out of money, right? So the cracks are already showing. We've talked numerous times about President Pezeshkian's apology to the Gulf states for firing missiles at them, all the while the IRGC kept firing missiles at them while the president was offering the apology. So that's a regime clearly at war with itself. So obviously we're still working on that one, and that's what we're going to be keeping a very, very close eye on, the sort of the complete dismantling of the IRGC, and that's really one of the key political dimensions in all this. And then level three would involve handing Iran back to its people. Now, this is the long game. This is where the other Gulf nations would play a part in helping bring about political stability. The Crown Prince is already, the exiled Crown Prince, Pahlavi, he's already stepped up to provide the leadership as an interim in that process. And so if Trump is patient, if he doesn't rush to declare victory and walk away, He has the opportunity to do what no American president has ever done: permanently disarm the Iranian threat, collapse the theocratic regime, and create the conditions for the Iranian people themselves to build something new. And again, for Trump, he doesn't care what that is that they build. He's not a neocon. He does not need ideological alignment. He doesn't care what they build as long as that government plays by the rules now set down through the Israeli-Arab alliance formalized by the Abraham Accords. That's when we can finally bring our troops home and leave the security of the region to that Israeli-Arab alliance, when the most hostile region on the planet may finally find peace.